Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. Do you love yourself enough to let go of your current 3D reality and anything in it that is not in alignment with what your heart is desiring to manifest and live fully in the feeling of knowing with certainty that everything your heart desires to manifest is already yours and that you are actually living in that now through your emotions and through your imagination so that you feel that it is yours now, and you live in a state of consciousness that is full of joy and happiness, not the sorrow and the sadness that the 3D maybe or could bring into your life. Because why? You have let that go. Do you love yourself enough to let go of your current circumstances that are not in alignment with what your heart desires and fully embrace and dwell in the version of you who already has the thing your heart desires, even though it hasn't shown up yet in your current 3D reality? We're going to talk about that just a little bit more. But before we do that, I want to remind you that Create Your Future is still giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. To remind you that I have courses available and that I do one-on-one coaching, and I would love to work with you. I really enjoy coaching, and all of my clients are so incredibly wonderful. They get my heart. They just are super, super sweet, wonderful people, and with a need, and I feel for them. But I also know that they have the power within them, and I help guide them there to create the thing that their heart desires and to become the person they long to be. And so if you're interested in coaching, that would be great. All right, now back to how much do you love yourself? How do you love yourself enough to let go of your current 3D circumstances? And when I say let go, I simply mean stop looking at it. Stop reacting to it. Stop thinking that it is the fact, that it is controlling you and that you can't get beyond it, and that it is a obstruction as opposed to just malleable illusion. I mean, you can change it. You created it. You can change it. And do you love yourself enough to commit to letting go of that 3D circumstances? Stop looking at it. Stop reacting to it. Stop feeling it. Stop talking about it to other people. Stop thinking about it in your own mind. Let it go. Be disciplined with that. And stay in the state of consciousness that says, I already am the person that I long to be. I'm already with my specific person, and we're blissfully happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am whatever it is your heart desires. I am that version right now. And feel the feeling of that. It just sort of struck me. Do I love myself enough to discipline my thoughts and my reactions to the current 3D reality that are not in alignment with what I want, that are totally opposite from what I want to be and experience and have? Do I love myself enough to discipline my thoughts and my reactions to the 3D, to stay in the story that I really want to experience? Because that's what we create. I think and feel about my situation, and that gets pushed out of me and then reflected back. So whatever I'm thinking and feeling right now about myself and who I am and what I'm experiencing and what I'm feeling emotionally, that gets pushed out and will be reflected back. And the universe doesn't care one way or the other if it is in your best interest or not. So you know that if you're looking at something negative in your 3D reality and you start to think about that and imagine some maybe the worst case scenarios, or you just keep going over some of the very negative things that have happened in your life, the universe isn't sitting back and making a judgment that that's really not good for that person to be thinking, so we're going to give them the opposite. No, it just mirrors it back. You look in the mirror, and if your hair is a mess, when you look in the mirror, your hair is going to be a mess. If you comb your hair and look in the mirror, then your hair will be combed. It's going to reflect back to you whatever you put in front of it, whatever you put out to it. That's why we say everything is you pushed out, and that's also why we say that the 3D is a reflection of your past thoughts, because it's the universe is like a mirror. It mirrors back to us the things that we put in front of it. And so whatever I put out there, I'm going to get back. So do you love yourself enough to discipline your mind and your choices to be always in alignment with what you want, so that what you put out there is going to be reflected back? And those things that are reflected back, if you've put out the good, will be the good that's coming back to you. But if you continually focus on the 3D and the parts of it that are not even in line with what you want, if you're continually focusing on that, that's what's being pushed out of you. That's what's going to be mirrored back to you. But if you would stop that and look at it from a point of view, do I love myself enough to force myself to discipline myself and to make the choice to stay in the story that I want to experience, assuming that I already am the person my heart desires to be, that I'm already free of this illness and I'm healthy, that I already am with the person that I'm in love with and they love me and we're blissful, that I'm already very wealthy, that I already have all the money that I need for anything that I want, that I already have the job or the position or the career or the situation in a family, whatever it is. I already have that. It's mine, and I feel that feeling, and I do it with confidence and certainty that it's mine. That takes a concerted effort to look beyond the 3D, recognizing it's only a reflection, an illusion of your past thoughts, your other states of consciousness, and stay in a state of consciousness, this new one that says, I already have the things my heart desires right now. I can feel it inside. I feel it. I see it in my mind. I see it in my imagination. I can't see it outside of me yet, but I know if I stay with it, if I persist in it, that I will see it reflected back to me in the external world. But it first has to come from the internal world, because that's where it's created. It is already created, but that's where you're selecting it. So you in the internal world, and you select it by your intention, by what it is you've chosen to manifest into your life. The assumption, you assume it's yours now. It's like a blueprint. This is the way I want my life to look. Just like the blueprint for a house. This is the way I want my house to look. And that's your blueprint. That's your intention or your affirmation or the assumption, right? I'm assuming this is mine. I'm going to assume it's mine now, and then I have to feel it, because feeling is like the power behind the intention or the assumption. You got to feel it. It pushes it out, and the universe sees pictures and responds to pictures, our mental pictures, what we see in our imagination, and what we are, our emotions, what we're feeling. So you put out a mental picture that you are this, whatever it is you want to be, and you have the feeling that is empowering it, and then the universe will respond to that by reflecting it back to you. And it does it both ways. I mean, how many of us have many times sat and gone over the negative things in our lives? Well, what if this happens, and what if that happens? And we're imagining. That's imagining. We're thinking about it. That's inner conversation. That's our mental diet. That's our assumption. That's our intention. That's our blueprint for the next experience in our lives. And then it goes out into the universe and it's reflected back, and then we say manifesting isn't working. I'm doing my intentions every single day, but they're not working. Well, of course they're not working, because your power, the emotional state of your mind is that you don't have it. And of course that's what's going to be reflected back, because that's the most energy that's going out of you. You got to stop doing that, and you have to make the most energy going out of you be the new story. the new version of you, and you're feeling it, that I am this incredible person, I am wealthy, I'm with my SB, I am healthy, whatever it is you want, you can fill that blank in, because it works for everything. And it works for pets, it works for other people. You don't have to do it just for yourself. And I have many people, I have seen them be in a healthy state and find out that they imagined it and stuck with it, and they became healthy. And many other, and you can do it for all kinds of things, not just health, everything. How I describe things, or how I define them, how I frame them, and the meaning that I give to stuff in my life, to the 3D, to whatever it is that I want to be, is what I will experience. So let's frame the new story to be everything your heart desires. Let's define it and give it the meaning that it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful and wonderful and everything my heart desires, feeling that feeling, because I will then experience. That's the way it works. And Jesus even said in the Bible that, if you ask for something, you believe you already have it, and it'll be given to you, that you'll be granted to you. But you first have to believe it's already yours. It's already yours. You already have it. And then it comes to you, because that is why everything is you pushed out, and that as within, so without. Inside of me, whatever I'm thinking and feeling and imagining is pushed out of me. The most dominant of those things is pushed out of me. And I think we give an awful lot of our energy and our emotion to the 3D. So that makes it very powerful and very dominant, right? And then we give a little attention to our intentions for the new story, because we're constantly focusing on the old story. So wherever you focus the most and give the most dominant time and energy and emotion, that's what's going to manifest. So look at what you're thinking about most of the time, and what you're feeling most of the time. Are you feeling desperate and hopeless and hurt, or wishing and longing for something, or afraid? And if you are, then you're not living from the end of already having it. You're not doing what Jesus said, where you pray, you ask for something. If you believe you already have it, then you will receive it. But if you believe you already have it, you're not going to be sad, are you? You're not going to be walking around in a state of depression over it, and longing and wanting. No, you're going to be living in a state of calm, confidence, certainty, joy, peace. And it's an inner thing. And I'm not talking about jumping up and down and being hilariously happy. I'm just talking about a natural state of knowing this is mine and it feels good. And you live from there. Do you love yourself enough to give yourself the gift of assuming you already have the thing your heart desires, and feel how wonderful that feels? That's what this video is about. Asking yourself, do I love me enough to let go of the 3D, stop focusing on it, stop thinking it's real, stop being afraid of it, and start living internally from the unseen, externally, which would be my vision. What do I want? What have I decided I want to manifest? And then assume that I already have that, and feel the feelings that are associated to that. Do I love myself enough to discipline my mind to stay focused only on the vision, the assumption of already having the thing my heart desires, and feel those feelings, and live knowing that it will, with certainty and confidence, manifest into my life, into my 3D reality. So as you do that, if you do love yourself enough, I think that's a good question to ask. Do I love myself enough to stop focusing on the 3D and focus only on my vision of what I want my life to be, and to give it my all, and to feel it to the fullest extent that I can? Do I love myself enough to do that? And I hope, no, I intend, the answer is yes, that you make that choice. Blessings.